Hello, I'm Matt and welcome to Badger Workshop. So last week's video was about making 3 handmade gifts that you can give to people as Christmas presents. And that's a lovely thing to do, but what's even better than giving handmade gifts to people is receiving tools as gifts. So I'm going to show you a few things that people can get you. And we're going to start with an S-wing hammer. So this is a 20-ounce curved claw. Let me show you closer up. So this is a beautiful tool. I've had this one for years. You can see it's a leather stacked handle. It's full tang, which means this metal shaft goes all the way to the bottom. So it's very unlikely to ever break. Now, I'm not actually recommending you get this one because this is 20 ounce and really nice for driving in long nails, for doing construction. I probably use this quite a bit when building the workshop. But this other maker called Jimmy DeResta, you might have heard of him. His favourite hammer is the 16 ounce version of this, with instead of the curved claw, the straight claw. And I prefer a straight claw now as well after using different hammers. So put a link to this down below. So next we've got some Japanese saws. I've talked about this one before, this little crosscut saw. I really like that. And I've got this Irwin one that's missing quite a lot of teeth and needs replacing. So I like this one a lot. So I got a bigger version of it and that's great. So Japanese saws, they all have their own names in Japanese, which I won't try and pronounce, but I'll put links to all these down below. This has got the cross cut and the rib. I'll put the link to the Irwin and a more traditional looking Japanese version of this type. And these two little ones. This one's from Axminster, this one's from Amazon. Now for something I'm sure you all have already, and that is a set of Allen keys. These are some Wera ones, and they're just excellent. I've got loads of Allen keys, lots of tools come with them. You end up with drawers full of them, especially like 4mm ones. But what these have is the ball head, or the socket head, I've forgotten what they call it. But instead of having to get it into the head perfectly straight, you can go in an angle, and I find that so useful for adjusting the guide blocks on the bandsaw. The colours look cool, and I didn't really see the point of them until I got them. But as soon as you know that the bandsaw requires the yellow one, you just always grab the yellow one rather than reading the numbers. Actually, it does speed it up. So these are a bit of a luxury, as you can buy much cheaper sets of Allen keys, but these are really nice quality tools. Now, one thing I've always been terrible about is keeping my tools sharp. I've got several ceramic stones, and I've had those for years when I used to be a chef sharpening knives. And they're always a pain, especially with chisels, because you can carve out dips and grooves in them, and then you have to flatten them. So this is a Trend, I think it's their Craft Pro range, diamond plate. I think it's 300 and 1000 grit, and it's really changed my sharpening. It's fantastic to use. It sharpens really quickly, never have to worry about flattening it again. It's a real game changer, and they're not that expensive. I think they're around the £20 mark, but yeah, prices vary, so there'll be a link down below to it. So now for something a bit more serious, and that's PPE. So I've had these Boyle, I don't know how you pronounce it, safety glasses. I've been wearing those for years, and I like them. But a few times I've got something in my eye, because things can get round the sides of them. I have my first aid kit just here, and I've got some eye wash in there. And I've had to use that in the past, especially bad if you're trying to do something overhead or that kind of thing. So what changed my mind about wearing them was watching Adam Savage on YouTube, and he talked about it and getting something in his eye. And since then, I've seen a few other people mention the eye injuries, and he found a pair of DeWalt goggles that he really liked. You do have more problems with them steaming up. These seem quite good, and there are ways around it. They're actually very comfortable, and they work better, I find, with ear defenders, because you don't have the bits of plastic getting in the way. So these aren't the DeWalt ones, but I will put a link to them below if you prefer those and go for Adam's recommendation. These are made by JPS. No, they're not. They're made by JSP. And that is the same as the respirator. So I thought I'd go for them because they'd fit well together, and they do. So yeah, no chance of anything getting in your eye when you're wearing goggles. So I've been wearing these for about 2 months now, and I think they're probably a little bit more of a pain than just normal glasses, but who wants to lose an eye? So I'm sure I've talked about this mask before. It's a press check one, which means you can push on the filters and it closes them up. So when you put it on, I was going to do it then, but then you won't be able to hear me properly. You put it on, you close the filters, and then you breathe. And if you can't get any air, then you know you've got a good seal. So if you're a bit lazy like me, have a bit of facial hair, it can be a bit problematic getting a good seal. So this, I do it every single time. I put it on, close the filters, breathe. Does it work? Does it not? Does it need adjustment? And after a while, I find it stops working a bit, and that's when I know I need to shave. Hair's got a bit too long, and I just can't get it to work anymore. So these are really good. I think they're around the 20 quid mark, and then they're around the tenner mark for the filters, replacement ones. These are some like dust filters, but you can get ones if you want to do spraying and things like that. So that's another bit of PPE. I guess I don't like the in-ear ear defenders personally. I can't get on with them. Maybe I've got small ears. Please don't comment about that below. But I see that IsoTunes have just released some new over-ear ear defenders. And they look really good. I don't have any, but they're kind of on my wish list. They're Bluetooth, because let me show you what I've got now anyway. So I should have sorted this out beforehand. So I've got some 3M ones, really like these. I've had these for about 6 years. The plastic's just started to split on them, but they're very good. The other ones I've got are these Stanley ones. I got these for Christmas last year, and to be honest, they're starting to break already within a year, so they're not great. And the cable I've kind of felt is a bit of a pain. I mean, it's lovely to be able to listen to podcasts or the radio or music as you work, plug it into your phone, but I tuck the cable down my shirt into my pocket, but sometimes it comes untucked, and you do not want cable snagging on things. So I think something like this, but Bluetooth, is a great solution. So I'll put a link down below to the new IsoTunes ones. As I say, I've not tried them. I've just seen the adverts for them, and I think it looks a good idea. So, sorry to end on a sensible thing as PPE. Not as interesting or sexy as the other tools, but I think they're all good choices, and hopefully someone will buy one of those for you. So thank you for watching. Thank you to my patrons. I hope you all get what you want for Christmas, and we're back to a build video next week.